So it's time. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and my August plan with me video. I've not done a plan with me in a very long time, mainly because I've not been planning with me. That being said, I've got 40 minutes before I need to go and pick up my son. So I'm in a bit of a pickle. Oh, that sounded like my nan. I'm in a bit of a tight squeeze, so I'm short on time. So I thought, well, if I'm short on time, what other way is there than to do a speed journaling monthly? I'm already regretting that as it's coming out of my mouth. But we're here. So that's what we're going to do. I have no plan for August other than I would like to draw some cherries, but I don't have time to pencil it out. I don't have time for rulers. I'm a little bit anxious about what that means because we all know I like to make mistakes. And when I say I like to make mistakes, I make them, I don't like them. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
So for my August cover page, I'm going in with a bit of freehand brush lettering with a Dingbats 80 pen. This is one of their pastel ranges, and as much as I love how I brush lettered it, I don't think it's going to stand up to the power of a bright red cherry. So I'm going in with a much darker pink straight over the top so that that can compete and doesn't get lost in the page when I do this. So I'm going in straight in with a pen and I'm doing some squashed tomato style shapes. I'm doing them in pairs because they're going to be a pair of cherries each. It's at this point that I put this final pair in that I don't know whether I want to squash another one in, so I stop, carry on the doodles that I've put down. It's always easier to add more doodles. It's much harder to take away doodles. I don't think you can actually do that, can you? So I've added in 2 stalks that come together in a point and then just a simple leaf doodle. And then I'm going to fill in some of this white space. You know how I feel about white space? I definitely remember these Faber-Castell Pitt Artist brush pens being lighter. And so when I did it, I did have a squeal moment as it felt really dark. So I've gone in with a Tombow dual brush pen just to really lighten that up. For outlining, I haven't got time to really sit down and outline and follow all of my colouring lines. So what I've done is I've gone for the more messier styled approach. So I deliberately am making these lines not follow the colouring in lines and making them a little disjointed. I think it kind of adds to how it comes together overall. It certainly goes against everything in my doodle body because I like to be neat, but when you're time limited and time restricted, this is exactly the time to try out this messier style, but I think the payoff is totally worth it. And I could have, possibly should have, left it here, but no, I think the white space is something I need to make peace with, and I certainly haven't done it for this spread. So I'm taking that lighter pink that I used and then went over for August, and I'm just sort of going through the left and bottom hand edges of all the doodles and dots and things that I've put down, just to give it a little bit of extra dimension. I even then go a little bit crazy and put in some little flicks that I then outline. I kind of like how it turns out, but it's only when I watch myself back as I'm doing this voiceover that I then see the spread from sort of a higher up perspective and think, you didn't necessarily need to do that, but I did, and that is what we've learnt. Something that I am excited about for August is returning to the My Doodle 9 challenge. I've been off doodle challenges for a while, and what better challenge to go back to than the one you created? So it's 9 boxes that I'm drawing in. I will sit down later and put my own doodle in the centre. Like I said, we're on a timer here. This was not the time to be putting in extra doodles. So I'll sit down later with that. And this, my friends, look at this. So I'm writing My Doodle 9 and I always have anxiety that it won't fit. And it fit. There's no greater feeling when you're brush lettering in something really long like My Doodle 9 and you get it in perfectly. Ta-da! So for my monthly page, I am favouring really big chunky boxes for my monthly. So I'm going in and putting in enough space for boxes that will be 7 dots by 7 dots. And I'm just freehand putting these in. I quite like to put in that space because then I get to go back through the days of the month and just put in a nice word for how I felt that day. So motivated, excited, tired. Can you see what I'm doing here? This is the point where I realise that August falls over 6 weeks and not 5. So when I'm lettering in the days of the week here, yeah, I'm going to only have 30 days for this month. I mean, I feel like the 31st is a little bit excessive. There's only so many months you can. So I don't need to know what's going on the 31st. I take a day off. I'm not paying attention. But I do believe my comeback game for brush lettering on the word August is strong. I definitely was still in my head mentally going, there's 31 days, you've missed a box. And then started to brush letter August and instantly then went, oh, but you're doing this so well. So I think that's my balance, is to make one big mistake and then come back really great with brush lettering. So I'm going to add those cherries into the remaining boxes that are defunct. I probably could have put the 31st in somewhere in there, but that would have looked totally weird. So I'm going to keep the theme. I do like when a cover page and a monthly have a very similar theme running through. It really, when you're looking back through your journal, it really sets that month up. And you guys know that my weeklies are whatever's in my head. So they don't follow a theme. So to have the cover page and the monthly come together as one, that is a doodle winner for me. So I'm just going to go in and add a little tracker, and we'll talk about the fact that I do make a mistake right about, it's happened, it's already done. We'll talk about that. But for me, it's a very simple tracker, a couple of things, and I don't do it every day, just as and when I've got my journal page open, and it gives me a really nice graph as to how I'm doing. But that will be my monthly finished. And it was the 22nd. I missed the 22nd.
Right. I mean, if we had to evaluate that performance, I felt a lot more positive at the beginning. You're in a speed need mode, then certainly going for something a bit rough and ready helps. I've not used my Dingbats pens in a while, and so it was nice. It was nice getting back into them. My freehand brush lettering is the winner of the day, but oh dear, the monthly. I mean, what can I say? So it turns out there's 31 days in August. I officially wrote it off. That day I shall be in my pyjamas eating ice cream with nothing on my to-do list because it's not in the actual journal. And then my tracker, I missed the 22nd. I knew I'd made a mistake, you know, as you're writing backwards, which is always a bizarre experience. And I start deliberately, when I do trackers, I start deliberately at the far end and work back because I can't stand counting 31 dots and then starting 1, 2, 3, although writing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a lot easier than writing in reverse. I mean, who needs the 22nd of August? I mean, it's a Saturday. I clearly won't be doing too much. August has 6 weeks, so when you're planning out your monthly, if you're doing it in boxes, you're going to need 6 lines, ladies and gentlemen, 6 lines, not 5. Top tip, if you don't make that mistake and you've watched this video, maybe I've helped you in some way. I certainly didn't help myself, did I? But that's all from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this speed journaling experience. I'm not sure I'd recommend it, if I'm honest, unless you want to put yourself through a bit of pressure. And I'm not sure who wants to do that. Should you want to subscribe, like this video, come and comment and speak to me down below, please do. This channel is all about stationery, journals and stationery, anything planner related, and you're pretty on point here. So come on in, press that subscribe button, and I will see you soon. All right, bye.